Good morning, Blackie. My journey to work every morning. These scenes are at the same time unfamiliar and familiar. The unfamiliar is that Peipu Steam Power Station I've seen since childhood is now the National Museum of Marine Science and Technology. This huge building and the connections between the local people and me. Their warm smiles are comforting, familiar. This is my hometown. This is where I grew up. As a child, I remember Badouzi as a tourist hotspot. It filled up with visitors on weekends. But that ended when they built the sewage treatment plant, the waste yard, and Peipu Steam Power Station, which poured smoke into the air from its smokestacks every day.
Before the Peipu Steam Power Station closed, the smoke from the coal used to fire the boiler. It sent ashes everywhere. The whole area coated with ash. After Peipu Steam Power Station shut down, the locals finally realized the bad conditions they'd been living under. I joined the provisional office earlier than most of my colleagues. The provisional office's predecessor was the preparation and planning team. Planning and preparation work for NMMST began around 1979. It was one of 12 construction projects authorized by the Executive Yuan. Creating new museums nationwide was a key goal for the Executive Yuan at the time. Back then, there was little public knowledge or awareness of the marine sciences. At that time, national leaders saw the need to improve public understanding, and so envisioned a marine museum that was both educational and fun for visitors. We couldn't construct Ministry of Education facilities on lands not belonging to the ministry. Another difficulty encountered in acquiring land was that the land we had was disjointed and scattered. It could properly be called a mess.
A report submitted by Geelong City mentioned that the museum would be built on 39 hectares, with only a small note to indicate that a portion of this was still to be reclaimed from the sea.
In the NMMST land acquisition process, our initial focus was on a plot of land on Beining Road. But this was going to be a huge project that necessitated using land reclaimed from the sea in order to make it happen, and some of this land would be built on garbage landfills. The money needed was huge, with 100 meters of reclaimed land costing over 100 million NT dollars. This was an astronomical fee. I became director of the Provisional Office in September of 2002. We implemented our goals step by step. I remember it was 2003, around December 30th. We held a task meeting and discussed all the details for exchanging lands with all the agencies involved. Everything was confirmed. We drew up a formal land exchange plan and submitted it to the Executive Yuan for approval. Jiaojing Workstation was where development started, followed by the surrounding Jiaoqing Park area. Once finished, these were open to the public for leisure activities and relaxation. Our Jiaoqing Park is an amazing park. Nothing else in the North Coast and in the Northeast corner can compare with it. There were plenty of reviews required to start construction of the main museum building. An environment impact assessment, an urban design review, the review on 30% of public construction, the water and soil conservation plans, a hillside development impact assessment. Subcontracting the actual construction work was the final procedure. Just prior to the financial crisis of 2007 and 2008, the bubble economy was at its worst and commodity prices were very high, like the prices for steel and other construction materials. They were all sky high. We found it impossible to subcontract this project based on the scale and scope submitted for approval in 2007. The upshot of this was that we knew the project wouldn't work even before the designs had been drawn up, and that we had no idea when commodity prices would stabilize. Bidding finished and the contract was signed for construction of the theme zone in December 2008. Construction began in February 2009. The NMMST theme zone differs significantly from similar areas in other museums. This is because part of this zone is housed within the former power plant. This necessitated an integration of new structural elements within the old Beipu steam power station structure. For this project, the middle area was slated as a restoration of the existing facility. NMMST staff spent much time and effort on the preservation work here. In the beginning, we had no idea of the history of the Beipu steam power station. But because we decided to reuse this building, we became familiar with its history. We had to know the original designs in order to proceed with our designs. This fire-powered power plant, for example, was built on land reclaimed from the sea. It was one of the engines of Taiwan industrialization. As we went, we found more and more information on the historical value of this plant. Now we had accepted this mission. This building has had different faces during the various phases of its existence. Now we would transform it into a museum. Our ultimate purpose is to enhance the marine science and technology knowledge and understanding of our people. I find this to be a mission that continues the past while opening a pathway to the future. National Museum of Marine Science and Technology is an ambitious container containing marine science of Taiwan and technology. Basically, it is a moderate supporting role. There are two leading roles. One is the visitor, and the other one is the content exhibition. While we are designing, we do not specifically emphasize the shape of the building. What we think about is the cruising experience. When you walk into this building, within this topic of cruising experience, you start to enjoy the atmosphere, absorb the display of technology of marine science. That is not the fish in the ocean looking for its own direction and try to locate its own target. That's the principle of cruising in the ocean. In addition to the building itself, I consider the building's interior as one of the exhibition items. In other words, the inside is a key part of the NMMST experience too. What we discuss here is marine science and technology knowledge, known by both the general public and experts. The gaps in our current understanding opens the door to differences of opinions on some issues, which are highlighted in the exhibits. Yes, that means this one. I think you should raise it up, just a little more.
There aren't so many large rocks next to it.
We don't need this stack.
Just dig it up completely from the side.
Okay, I understand. We'll change it from here, just like this.
Dig more up.
I know. We need to take it all out. Right. Okay, I understand. Generally, people expect to see displays of living sea creatures when they walk into a marine science museum. Our scope covers the entire field of marine sciences, so we aren't limited to marine creatures only. Other subjects highlighted include marine geology, marine engineering, and even maritime culture. even how to go about building a fishing port or naval port, or to explore marine energy sources. These things involve physics, chemistry, culture, and so on. And don't forget marine engineering. This museum is responsible for creating exhibits that address all of these themes. I think we will encounter many problems when it comes to choosing exhibit themes, because it's not possible to do everything. We won't even come close, because we have limited space and resources here. After much discussion, we decided on 8 regular exhibit themes that worked within our current exhibit budget. Pull it up, then pull it down. We're looking at it from the top. Normally, restoring fishing nets is a near impossible task, but we studied the issue and accomplished it. There will be another LED light on the top, 2 LEDs. We're in the process of integrating audiovisual elements to add effect to the overall presentation. Now it's angled correctly? If the angle is right, then we just need to do it this way. If the angle is off, then we'll need to pull this up. It's not that big. What was it used for originally? That's because if we produce it to scale, it won't be seen. Yeah, I know. So I said we'll be doing a smaller scale replica, but the sea level is confirmed. Make things tidy with an aesthetic sense of machinery, or just cover it. Now we extend to place those things here.
With concerted and concentrated efforts, we infuse seawater, which indicates the symbol of blue ocean, into the sea. Respectable guests here are more than welcome to share our happiness and get a good luck.
Please open the curtain. NMMST will carry on and demonstrate the important mission which strengthens science pro-education to our people. The work of preparing a new museum is never easy. Many different areas of expertise and efforts need to come together for success. We devote ourselves to NMMST. Understanding, being close to, and caring for our oceans are the core principles of NMMST, while sustainable oceans are its goal. We thought it's so important that the NMMST also address the topic of maritime culture. In point of fact, temples and fishing villages in Taiwan are often closely connected with the daily life of residents and with maritime culture. Also, many of Taiwan's most influential authors were inspired in some way by life experiences on or near the sea.
He shared what he learned during his visit. He said he learned to live in harmony with the rhythm of the ocean's waves.
In the kids' exploration zone, objects with sharp angles and edges are not allowed because kids run all over the place. We think something has to be arranged for the kids. Everything in the kids' exploration zone has something to do with the ocean. Kids are allowed to touch certain exhibits here. The kids' exploration zone is very attractive to visitors. On the holidays, many people line up to visit NMMST. NMMST was designed as an interactive museum, not just showing something to the people. We want to keep all exhibitions interesting and fascinating. In the planning stage, we included a marine theater into the construction plan. Many people have visited this theater. The theater has the biggest screen in Taiwan. Visitors like this screen very much. It's more than what we expected. This museum was organized by the Ministry of Education. We must stay true to our original reasons for creating the NMMST. This is not a playground. It's critical that we remember this. Nevertheless, museums need visitors, and education will happen only when people come through our doors. We must attract visitors. Once we get them here, they will naturally learn from the exhibits and items on display. Therefore, we planned an aquarium at the NMMST as a way to bring more visitors. We think that the aquarium will be a magnet for visitors in the future. In addition to exhibitions, NMMST staff study and collect marine species. We have collected many fish specimens, crustacean specimens, marine cultural relics, and other specimens related to the ocean. Besides that, we raise 200 or 300 types of marine organisms in Chaojing Aquaculture Station for research.
In fact, researching and collecting are core tasks of the museum. We divide our collection bank between 2 locations. The Research and Collection Center is one, and here is the other. Chaojing Ocean Center. We divide the scope of our research into 4 fields: marine ecology, maritime culture, marine science, and marine technology.
I've never seen the preparation and construction of NMMST as easy. On this 50 hectares or so of land, we built our exhibition zones, exceptional landscapes, together with the 4 communities and lovely people living here. We also built a singularly special stage in the south section. Generally speaking, the creation of NMMST wove the museum together with its surrounding communities. This whole neighborhood concept embodies our vision for the future.
Indeed, NMMST certainly impacts the local environment. The available living space for residents here has changed. Therefore, most of residents definitely would say that their familiar environment is gone. The fishing port at Wanhaixiang and the bridge in Changtan Borough can both be seen from the 5th floor viewing area. We see these all the time. Even though the additional construction projects during the past few years have blocked off many of our sea views, I can still see these 2.
Developing a common perspective with local residents was a critical task during the preparation period. Thus, the NMMST actively organized public hearings and discussions to balance the interests of the community with those of the museum. They have a good eye for color. They know how to beautify things. This environment is wonderful. People should visit more often.
He found the right colors. People will come to see this for sure. We want to see it for ourselves. The colors are just like we imagined.
Residents liked this proposal, but none of us had an idea about how the project would turn out. We'd no idea. Just make it beautiful. If you have any thoughts on this item, just ask. All right, that's our decision then, okay? Thanks for your time.
For me, the impact from NMMST is a combination of the life in my memory, the convenience of technology, and making this combination even better. Evidence of seawater erosion is a hallmark of the Badozi area. NMMST used to create its community partnership. Local culture and NMMST complement each other perfectly. NMMST has not only merged with the lives of the surrounding fishing village communities, but has also plumbed the depth of local residents' life experiences. We have seen more and more educational events in this area that bring brilliant vividness to these fishing villages.
These statistics show the situation plain as day. Population, valuations. Bricks are stronger. This interface with development can be compared with the original situation without this development.
Sir, that one. This one? Actually, they sensed it immediately when we showed them the fishing huts. So did we. Some people pinched their nose and complained about the smell. Some people were curious and asked questions about the fish stove they saw there. We see immediately how visitors react. I find that's an effective way. It may be difficult for visitors to imagine this. It's even better that they're here and see it themselves. I'm just worried it may not be spicy enough. Hurry up! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up! Good morning, everyone. Good morning. The advent of the NMMST has enhanced my identification and commitment to Badozi and the marine environment. My current life has also been changed by these factors. Beyond the indoor exhibits, NMMST extends to include the entire Badozi Peninsula and surrounding coastal area. It is an integrated ecology experience park. Understanding, being close to, and caring for our oceans are the three major goals of NMMST. The first step in the Sea Lover movement is to love the sea environment that surrounds us all. This area is close to where we all live our lives, so when travel along the road, you probably see lots of garbage. This is also an environment that is highly vulnerable to the pollution of civilization. We hope that the public increases its concern on this issue as they spend more time in coastal environments. Further, the cleanliness of the environment should be maintained by everyone.
This type of beach cleaning activity may be considered the first of its kind in Taiwan. We selected a famous coastal area, the Wangyou Valley, as the target of our efforts. 600 students from Marine Vocational High School lined up 1.5 meters apart from each other, picking up garbage. Geelong's Bureau of Environment Protection disposed of the garbage. MVHS decided to turn this environmental outreach program into a regular event. They do it annually now. Come, there's garbage here. You can place garbage in this bag too.
Visiting the water like this is fine, but safety should always come first. It's called agar-agar, a kind of seaweed. It is edible after it's been sun-dried and cooked. Touch it. This is the only one. They are hard to find now. Every time you visit the seaside, you will see something new as well as new activities or new species. So the seaside is somewhere you never tire of. We talk about biodiversity all the time, and tidal flats are the best areas to experience biodiversity. Hi there, you guys having fun? Sure. What kind of fun are you having? It's just fun. We got caught in the incoming waves, and I tasted the seawater. It was salty. Honestly, this is a tough environment. See, the waves are coming in again, right? When the tide retreats, the shoreline is baked hard in the sun. The creatures here must adapt to survive. This is sargassum. Local people call it horsetail weed.
When starting to design museum exhibits, we plan to make museum exhibition items useful for teaching on marine science and technology topics. Now, at the NMMST, with regard to our marine science and technology exhibits, we don't create materials for professionals only. We also cooperate with school teachers to develop educational materials for students. We look forward to transforming NMMST exhibition zones into engaging, inspiring classrooms for students. Students learn things at school and can also come and learn things here at NMMST. We are working to cultivate seed teachers and are investing significant efforts to make this a success.
The kids I see visiting our museum are so happy and excited. They're so curious about the exhibits here at NMMST. It's truly wonderful and cheerful to share our knowledge with these future leaders of our nation. Okay, here we go. What type of sand is closest to where we are now? What sand? Which one? Okay, raise your hand. All right, tell me which one. What's it say? Rough sand from the northeast coast. Good. So this is Taiwan's northeast coast here. Here is the first museum in Asia to focus specifically on marine technology. We want to let visitors to experience the soft, extensive life that exists in our oceans using different angles and depth from the air, from sea level, and from below the waves. The National Museum of Marine Science and Technology, with its ecology, environmental education, science, experience, and culture, is more than a tourist destination. It is a great place to come to know and to love our shared sea environment. With so many people's dedication and efforts, NMMST has become a reality. Over the past 16 years, 4 directors of NMMST Provisional Office, 9 education ministers, and 4 Jilo mayors worked together to make it come true. It was a painstaking process.